Members, we are going to move to take up AB 133 without reference to file. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 133 by the Committee on Budget, an act relating to the state budget, making appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Budget bill.
Dr. Weber, you may open.
Yes, Mr. Speaker and members, as stated by my colleague here, AB 133 is identical to SB 86 that we just passed on the floor with over 70 aye votes and no votes. Just a reminder, it prepays $240 million in retirement health benefits, repays $173 million in traffic congestion relief, provides $105 million for recovery affecting related wildfires last fall, and provides funding for the San Joaquin Medical Program to train 48 doctors. I respectfully ask for your aye vote for concurrence.
Thank you, Dr. Weber. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 78, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. Members, I'm going to move briefly back to guest introductions. Mr. Gatto, you have a special guest with us today.
Yes, I'd like you to turn to the rear of the chambers where I have a very special guest, and that is my nephew, Damien.
Members, we are moving to announcements and adjournments in memory. A brief announcement, members. The Rules Committee will meet upon adjournment in the Rules Committee room. The Rules Committee will meet upon adjournment in the Rules room. We're moving to adjournments in memory. Members, we ask for your respectful attention. Please take your seats. Members, please take your seats. Madam Speaker, you are recognized for your adjournment in memory.
Thank you, Mr. Speakers. Members, I would ask you to join me today in adjourning in memory of a very dear friend of mine and a community leader in San Diego, Bill Beck. After a strong fight against Parkinson's disease, Bill passed away at his home in San Diego on February 22nd, surrounded by family, including his husband and partner of more than 40 years, David Husky. As I said when I was asked to announce Bill's passing last week, we lost a force of nature, someone who was a community leader, a small business owner, an advocate for equality, and a tireless soldier in the fight against HIV and AIDS. When it came to politics, Bill decided a couple of decades ago that San Diego's LGBT community needed a place at the table, and that he was going to do everything he could to make that happen. And if you're wondering if he succeeded, you can ask me, or you can ask retired Senator Chris Kehoe, our District Attorney Bonnie Dumanis, our City Councilman Todd Gloria. He even liked my colleague from Rancho Bernardo, who served on the City Council with me, and supported him as well. Over the years, Bill raised more than $10 million for AIDS charities, local businesses, associations, philanthropic foundations, and LGBT candidates. He served on the Gay and Lesbian Victory Fund, the Gay Families of America Project, the AIDS Assistance Fund, and the Greater San Diego Business Association. He was a co-chair of Design Industries Foundation Fighting AIDS, a founder and board president of the San Diego Human Dignity Foundation. In addition to Bill's husband, David, his survivors include his brother and sister-in-law, Robert and Marilyn Beck, his sister-in-law, Bo Beck, his niece, Terry, his nephews, Mark and Bobby, and, of course, his many, many friends whose hearts are hurting over this loss. Godspeed, Bill, and thank you for letting me adjourn in his memory.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Dr. Eggman, you are recognized for your adjournment in memory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today I rise to ask us to adjourn in the memory of Officer Lourdes Pepe Peterson, who was a 30-year veteran of the Stockton Police Department, who worked as a homicide detective and was killed as a result of a homicide from a stabbing wound in a struggle with a suspect on February 23, 2016. He was 76 years old. A Good Samaritan came to his assistance and was also injured during the struggle, but is expected to survive. Officer Peterson was born in Stockton July 15, 1940, and graduated from Stockton High School and took courses at Delta College before serving in the United States Army from 1962 to 1964. He joined the Stockton Police Department in 1968, where he worked for over 30 years as a patrolman and later as a detective in the Homicide Division before retiring in 1998. Even in retirement, he continued to work for the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office as an investigator. He was a respected member of the community who enjoyed playing golf and meeting with his friends for morning coffee and traveling to Arizona to visit his family. He leaves behind his 2 parents, 2 siblings, a wife of 50 years, 2 kids, 7 grandchildren, and 22 grandchildren. He was incredibly well-liked, respected. He was a training officer for many of our current leadership. Our chief of police remarked that he taught him you have to get out of the car and talk to the people and engage with the community. He was that kind of officer. I ask this chamber to please respectfully adjourn in the memory of Pepe Peterson.
Thank you, Dr. Eggman. Mr. Frazier, you are recognized from your desk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is with heavy heart that I adjourn in memory of my constituent Pamela Painter, who passed away at a young 60 years old. Pam always prioritized the youth in her community. She worked for her local school district, volunteered for the PTA and sporting events, and also was always active with her kids' activities. She was an avid marathon runner and created the Fun Run at the Oakley Almond Festival. She is an incredibly outgoing woman who was always laughing, having fun, and brought joy to those around her. Pam was stricken with early onset Alzheimer's and succumbed after 7 short years. She is survived by her husband, Mike, her children, Jennifer, Sarah, Samantha, and Joseph, and her grandchildren, Ava, Landon, Lila, Brody, and Carter. Members, please help me today in adjourning in memory of Pam Painter, because we are never promised tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Ms. Gaines, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to request that we adjourn today in the memory of Thomas Mackey. Tom was born July 24, 1985, in Sacramento, California. He attended Granite Bay High School and Chico State University. He worked as a loan production assistant with his team at Paramount Equity. Tom had many achievements with Paramount, including providing services that were noted in Forbes magazine in 2012. Tom was very passionate about movies. A favorite trip was to the new Studio Movie Grill to enjoy good food and a movie. If you ever needed a movie quote, Tom knew them all. If you participated in any trivia games about movies with Tom, you better plan on coming in second. He was also a Cincinnati Bengals fan and a member at Lifetime Fitness in Roseville, where he was a frequent visitor. Tom was tragically killed in a car accident on January 28th in Roseville. He is survived by his mother and stepfather, Carolyn and Michael of Granite Bay, California. His father and stepmother, Daniel and Mary Mackey of Folsom, California. His brother, Joey, as my daughters know him, Joseph Mackey, stepbrother, Brad, and stepsister, Sarah, and an extended number of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins that will forever hold Tom close to their hearts. Tom lived enthusiastically and touched the lives of all he met. His friends and family are heartbroken and will miss him greatly. I ask this body to please adjourn in memory of Thomas Mackey.
Thank you, Ms. Gaines. Mr. Ridley Thomas, for your adjournment in memory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I rise and ask that this body adjourn in memory today in the memory of Mrs. Susan Eileen Jones, who passed away recently. January 25th, following a long illness, she transitioned from this life to the next. She was 68 years old. Susan's lifelong passion was early childhood education. She received a Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education in 1969 from Northwestern. After graduation, she taught in Chicago schools and obtained a Master's in Education in Inner City Studies from Northeastern University. In 1989, she received a Master's in Urban and Regional Planning with a focus on early childhood education from the University of Hawaii. She worked as a senior planner for Homeless Aloha, doing analysis and writing proposals to address the homelessness challenges of that region, and worked later for more than a decade with the Hawaii Community Foundation. Susan's commitment to improving educational opportunities for children was evident in her volunteer efforts as well. She helped found the Hawaii Children's Action Network, which coordinates statewide efforts on early childhood education in that state. She also worked with the Hawaii Women's Fund to empower women and girls to improve the status of women in society. She's survived by her loving spouse, Michael, and daughter, Amanda of Hawaii, her son, Ethan Jones, the chief consultant to the Committee on Elections and Redistricting, who many of you know, who lives here in Sacramento with his spouse, her sister, Elizabeth Trotter of Ohio, and many extended family and friends. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to ask this body to adjourn in the memory of a servant of people and an advocate for children, Susan Eileen Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Ridley Thomas. And thank you, members. A brief announcement. All members must file their annual Statement of Economic Interest forms by Tuesday, March 1st. Note that Form 700 must be submitted to the Chief Clerk, room 3196 by 5 p.m. The deadline is for members. Designated staff must file by April 1st. The session schedule is as follows. Tuesday, March 1st, check-in session. Wednesday, March 2nd, check-in session. Thursday, March 3rd, floor session at 9 a.m. All other items remaining will be passed and retained. All motions shall be continued. Seeing and hearing no further business, I'm ready to entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Holden moves and Ms. Waldron seconds that this House stands adjourned until Thursday, March 3rd at 9 a.m. Quorum call is lifted.